Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'll be giving you everything you need to know about Jinhsi. Jinhsi is a 5-star Spectro character who uses the Broadblade type weapon. The best part about her is that she's effective against both single target and groups. Plus, her burst phase comes from her skill, which offers very high flexibility. Skill Priority Forte Circuit is a must to max out as it accounts for 75% of Jinhsi's damage output, followed by Resonance Liberation and lower priority to the rest. You don't have to bother to max them out. Resonance Chain isn't worth exchanging, as her signature weapon offers higher DPS compared to her Sequence 2. Echo Set and Priority. Players should only run 5-piece Celestial Light as the DPS drop is insane. Prioritize Ju over Morning X, as Ju has 0 field time, which means you don't have to do any swapping. But if you have God tier stats on Morning X, then there's no reason not to use it. But it's preferred to Echo Swap Cancel for X. Echo Setup. For those of you who have her signature weapon, you can run any setup, as even with a double 4 cost the DPS loss is only 5%, where the one with better subtats will easily come out on top. Not gonna lie, this makes me feel like pulling for Jinhsi's weapon. For those who are not running her signature weapon, the one with better substats will also come out on top, but for a double 4 cost setup you really need God tier substats for it to perform equally or slightly better than a double 3 cost setup. For substats, aim for a total of 30 to 40% energy regen, 60 to 75% crit rate, and the rest in order. If you have 200% or higher crit damage, it's ideal to aim for a minimum of 70% crit rate. Weapon DPS calculation. You lose a ton of DPS potential if you do not have a 5-star weapon. Sadly, for those who accidentally pulled for Jiyan's weapon, it's only better by 1% compared to Razor. Both Helios Cleaver and Broadblade number 41 at S1 are really good options if you don't have any 5-star weapons, and upgrading them to S5 is not needed since the DPS boost is minimal. Generally, you don't want any 3-star weapons on Jinhsi, as you're just losing way too much DPS. Personally, I recommend F2P players to use Lustrous Razor or Broadblade since they're both free. You really don't need her signature weapon. Best team sub DPS. Yinlin is the best and performs even better with multiple targets. I don't have to talk too much about Yinlin, as I believe everyone how OP Yinlin burst damage is. Mortefi is the second best sub DPS, excelling in single target environments. I recommend using him at S4, where he can significantly reduce the downtime of coordinated attacks, and at S6. He provides 20% attack. He's just an insanely good unit with Jinhsi if you have him at S4. Where is on par with Yinlin, but without S4, Mortefi underperforms hugely. Yuan Wu is the next best option if you don't have an E4 Mortefi or Yinlin. He can efficiently stack incandescence and is easy to use. The downside is the slow acquisition of CALCHARO energy, but you can offset this by giving the rejuvenating glow set with Cruisewing as the main echo to Yuan Wu, and have your healer run Moonlit Cloud instead, or simply not care about it. Sanhua or Spectro Rover are also fine, but only if you have them at S6, but they do offer the lowest value. Havoc Rover is insanely good too due to Havoc's quick swap burst rotation, which offers one of the highest burst output. Another option is Taochi, as she's able to provide skill deepened buffs and shields. The only downside is lower stacks for incandescence, but since we have Havoc MC already, Taochi has lower value. Another team would be running double core units, where even Chongli could work as well as Yinlin in the future when she's out. But players should only use this setup if they already have these unit build already. To play this team comp, you want to focus on their full burst combo instead, where Havoc MC falls under this category too, but for some DPS units they're more suited for Tower of Adversity instead of open world content. For healers, if you have Bazi at S4 and are not running Yinlin or a secondary DPS unit, there would be little to no difference from Verena. Rotation. She's really easy to play. Players should master this combo, where it's the core combo for all of Jinhsi rotations. After your setup, intro into Echo. Skill 1 and 2. Ulti if you have it, avail. Into 4 basic attack and skill to cancel the 4th basic attack animation. In short, players can use ulti to cancel skill 2 or with an enhanced skill to cancel her 4th basic attack animation. and players should only swap back to Jinhsi only with an intro skill. Now to put this into a fight where your ulti is still far from full. Note that you can use Jinhsi ulti on skill 2, and the 4th basic attack animation. This time I'm just going to use Jinhsi ulti after her 4th basic attack. Start with an intro skill, into Echo. You may swap cancel if X. Use skill 1 and 2. Then 4 enhanced basic attacks. Into her ultimate. Part 3 skill. Outro to another unit and finish their full burst rotation. Only then switch back to Jinhsi with intro skill, enhanced skill 1 and 2. Into 4 enhanced basic attacks. And lastly skill 3. This rotation focuses on animation cancelling the 4th enhanced basic attack. Pretty easy, right? If you have her ulti up early, you can just start with her ulti instead after using her echo. This way you're able to get a faster ulti uptime on her next rotation. In the end, Jinhsi is really easy and players should just practice the core combo as it always leads back to the same place. Pros: triple S tier. Good design, flexible, one of the easiest unit to use. Has room for growth with future coordinated units. Highest DPS unit. Even over both Jiyan and Havoc MC at S6. Can avoid a ton of attacks from enemies and reduce the chance of getting hit while airborne in the incarnation state. Cons: not immune to power crept in future. Loses potential without the right units beside her. Honestly, there aren't any cons with her. Should you get Jinhsi? If you like her design, I don't see why not. After all, she's broken. Has no cons and is easy to use, but if you don't like her design, it's better to skip her. As Wuthering Waves is a game where you play who you like. Thanks for watching till the end. Let me know your thoughts about her, and that's it for this guide.